The 4 hidden gems that every guy should know to win in life. Some of these things maybe you know, some of it you don't know. Either way, you need to know these things, otherwise you're not going to get what you want in life. This is something I wish someone told me to my younger self, something I should have known early on in life, and I would have pushed way, way further in life. All right, I'm not going to ramble on too much. I understand that you have a short attention span. Try to focus. Don't, look away at other things. Don't let yourself get distracted. Switch off your brain if you can, and just focus on everything what I'm going to say and write things down and implement it into your life. This is an actionable taking video. Do not skip on the things that I say. Please do them. All right. The first one is visualization. Visualization is a powerful tool. It is used amongst heavyweight championship boxers. Other successful people have implemented this exercise in their life, and now they've become ultra successful or semi-successful. They've got what they want in life. Visualization is basically where you close your eyes, you visualize something that you want to achieve, but it has to be like a one thing only. If you can't do it, just imagine an apple, spinning apple in your head. If you can do that, if you can um, see an apple in your mind, then you can most certainly visualize your goals in life. So you don't need to do this every single day. If you want to, you can, but just spend roughly at least 10 minutes somewhere quiet where you can do a visualization practice. You can also go one step further where you do something called the death meditation. And that is where you visualize that you are on your deathbed or in your funeral. I won't go too far. I don't have much knowledge about that area yet, but maybe I'll make a separate video in the future about that. But for now, we're going to focus on visualization. Visualization, excuse me, it is very powerful and it does work. I promise you, it does work. A lot of people, maybe 50% of people, are going to click off this video and think this is just wishy-washy stuff. Okay, go ahead, be my guest. Don't watch this video. But for the other people who really want to see the light at the end of the tunnel, they want to grow as a person, they want to see success, you got to do this visualization. It only takes 10 minutes. It's not very hard. It'll take time. It is a skill like meditation. But with this, you don't really breathe. You could breathe in and breathe out, but the most important part is you just visualize the one goal. But you want to preferably do, you want to see like you're already in that moment. You already achieve that goal. You're already living it. You smell it, you feel it, and you can hear the noise, whatever it is. That is the visualization practice. Second one is self-improvement. Now, self-improvement is getting quite popular on the internet, but still there is a majority of guys and even some girls who don't know about this. Self-improvement is basically you improve yourself in different areas, whether that's career, dating, fitness, and just your inner self, your ability to be present, speak properly with others, make friends with other people, um, have a better mental health, better mindset, all those things. That's just a rough idea of the self-improvement. I really, was those guys on Reddit who was thinking like self-improvement is not for everyone, it's only for certain people, or self-improvement doesn't actually work. But this is not true. I'm not gonna boast, I'm not gonna lie here. I'm gonna be very, very transparent and honest here. I've met 2 people in my life which I don't have contact anymore, but they used to be, friends, not really close friends, but a friend that I used to hang out with, 2 guys, and they were doing these self-improvement habits. They were, really on that grind. They were really obsessed about improving themselves. Excuse me. And I've seen their stories on Facebook and Instagram. A couple of years later, they live in a good life. Now you could say, we could argue, oh, they're just probably traveling. Doesn't mean they're successful. But to me, every time I see their posts, their stories, they look like, they got money. They look like they got what they wanted. They got girls around them. And this is 2 guys who jumped on self-improvement. And if you're one of those guys, there's definitely going to be some guys who are going to be watching this video and say self-improvement is all bullshit. These are the people who don't improve themselves. This is the same people who have a shit physique, still not make money, still where they are year after year. What is self-improvement? Basic. What do you think self-improvement is? Self-improvement. You're improving yourself. So if you think it's shit, should we just all stop going to the gym? Like, really, bro? That is so ridiculous. That is so stupid. And there's endless of people, especially on Reddit, arguing about this and other platforms saying this, about self-improvement. So get your head out of your ass. That's the best way I can describe it. And you need to have a pair of fucking balls and just, stick to the self-improvement. You shouldn't really be this self-improvement artist, whatever they say, because you got to have a life, you got to enjoy it sometimes, but there is some power to living the extreme self-improvement life, especially if you're really, really grinding and you're working on your goals, 1 or 2 goals. You can really, really get far ahead. Number 3, staying consistent. Now, a lot of guys, they find it hard to stay consistent, especially if it's in the gym or some kind of sport or career, or they want to work on their business, they want to make money online, whatever it is, whatever, interest they have in a specific area. You need to understand consistency is not mean going every single day. You're going for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. That is real consistency. I've been consistent very well in the gym, but I lacked the physique that I want because I was always addicted to alcohol and drugs, and I was always that degenerate party boy, always obsessed with going clubbing and hooking up with, sluts. I thought they would be my future wife, girlfriend, whatever, and hanging out with the wrong crowd. So I took an L on those few years, and I admit it. But if I didn't do those bad habits, I didn't fall into those bad things, I would have got the physique I wanted. And on top of that, training less and additional things with hypertrophy. So you want to stay consistent, and the best way to stay consistent is actually keeping track of your goals. Every day you wake up and you remind yourself what you need to work on. And you need to be hungry. You need to be kind of like obsessed. And you need to have that drive, and to have that, you need to be healthy because mostly it comes from high testosterone. So you need to, wake up feeling like you are on a mission to complete. You are at war with yourself every single fucking day. Excuse me of my language. So yeah, you need to stay consistent. You know, some days, there's going to be bad days. I understand that 100%. We all have bad days. We are all humans. That's normal. But it's the guy who's going to get something, the guy that doesn't quit and always, climbs and moves to the trenches is the one that's going to take what he wants. So remember that. And it all comes from here. So don't forget that, my friend. Point 4. Now, this is the big one. A lot of people still set goals the wrong way. Or maybe they kind of like just put some goals up on their posters or on their phone, right on their phone. And they just say, yeah, I will, achieve this. But there's no like deadline, specific days, and it's not realistic. You need to set realistic goals that you want to achieve, that you can achieve in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years from now. But if you're writing 5 years, 10 years, I wouldn't write a deadline. But like a year from now, write a deadline when you want to achieve something. And keep it a reminder, always look at it. Always look at it on your wall if it's posted, if it's pinned up on your wall. Always look at it like a psychopath. I might sound crazy here, but this is true, man. This is true. When you set a deadline for a goal that you want to achieve, you have this engine switched on. You gotta like your almost like a panic mode. You need to really get that. So set deadline, the month, the date, the time. Maybe I don't really put time. You can put time if you want, but doing this is really gonna push you forward. But don't just write any goals. Really, like, think to yourself, what do you actually want to achieve next year from now? What do you want to achieve in 2026? Be realistic about it. What is it that you really want? What is it that you didn't achieve this year, but you need to next year? What is it that you lacked? Write these things down if you can. Spend the time. Don't rush it. Maybe speak about it with your family or siblings if they respect you and they happy with the things that you do, and they are happy and respectful to your goals. They encourage you, and they like that you are working on something that you enjoy. Then you can share these things with them. But maybe you're not in that situation, you're not in that boat, so share with this with your friends. I assume you probably have like a small tribe. You can share these ideas with them. You can share the goals, and again, still, if they respect you, they not bring you down, then it's absolutely fine. Everyone else, even the people that you go to work with, you see people at the gym that in your school, uh, even your family, probably they all just set goals. They just write it and that's it. They don't. It's probably not even something they actually want to achieve. They're not obsessed with it. They're not really like hungry to win that specific thing. So you need to, ask these questions with yourself, or maybe someone who grinds with you, like maybe a gym buddy or something. Talk about these things. If you don't feel like you can come with good decision and ideas on your own. But another thing you can also do is called thinking time, where you just sit in front of your living room, maybe in the lounge here. Just sit quietly and just stare at the wall for 30 minutes at least. Maybe you can start 15 minutes or 10 minutes and work your way up. My coffee's getting cold. So that's pretty much the hidden gems that I know of. But if you have anything else that you know and you have any suggestions, feel free to comment below this video. So if you're still a young guy who's struggling with discipline, dedication, consistency, confidence, mindset, having natural high testosterone, being fit, there's more to life, you can push for more, you can live off your edge, you want to step one more further in the game, you want to always discover more and what you're capable of, then you can look at my community below, completely free, no hidden fees. It's open for only 5 people, and after that, I am gonna make it paid. You can join the community if you wanna have a one-on-one conversation with me, um, have conversation with other people, be part of like a brotherhood, a real brotherhood who cares about each other. There's no judgment and no wishy-washy stuff, no guesswork stuff. Everything, you know, real system that you can implement in your life to change yourself into a better man, to become the best version of yourself. There's a lot of, gimmicks and a lot of programs and courses charging you and giving you false information, but this is the real stuff that I am still putting in the work, but you can still join for free and you can get my personalized help and implement the system inside the community for free. But again, like I mentioned, I'm only helping 5 people. It is the best ROI and you can get faster results. So this is your chance now. If you want to become the best version, the link is below this video. But no pressure. I'm not going to pressure you like other influencers. Take your time, think about it. If I helped you a lot in my other free content like on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, then go check it out. All right. That's it. And remember, become more, push for more, and live a legacy. Until then, see you next time. Peace.